Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing okay. I'm finally getting around to something that I've actually wanted to do for a while, but I don't know, I've been procrastinating about it, and people have been asking about it, so, asking about, oh, what do you use for wah, what do you use for this, what do you use for that, so I figured, finally, that I would do a whole video on everything I use for my guitar stuff. So, I guess we'll start over here. I mean, obviously, TU3 tuner, pretty self-explanatory. The flanger, EVH flanger. I use this, actually, you know what, the EVH button on these ones, I don't know, there's another one that has a border around on the edges, sort of here. And those ones, the EVH button actually sounds like what it says it sounds like. But this one, I don't, for whatever reason, it just it's not the EVH like the Unchained setting. So that's the actual physical EVH Unchained setting, which is how I have this set for almost all the time. But actually, you know what? If you go like this, I use this sometimes to set it like that, and it's actually a chorus. And it's actually a really good chorus to use that for. I don't know. Usually, usually I don't use chorus anymore because I have this now, and I use that in the loop, and that's usually always on. But like if you need something like super, like "Come as You Are" or something like that, Nirvana, "Pretty Woman," that's a pretty good setting. Or "Police," whatever. Here we have this. This has actually probably been on the board the longest, the carbon copy. I haven't been able to kick this one off no matter what I do. It's been in the front as it is now. It's been in the loop. Actually, I think this is the second pedal I ever got. And right now I have it set, well, it's messed up, but I have it set like it Ain't Talking About Love when they have, when Eddie's got the little slapback delay. I use that. I don't have that on really a whole lot, but the other thing you can do with it too is obviously the crazy oscillation thing, but if you set it like this and then hit the last note of Eruption, and I did that in one of my videos, you go like this and hit the last note and then turn it on, and it gives you that kind of a thing, which is pretty cool. And it's better than this one. Everybody says this is what Eddie uses, but it's actually not for that little dive bomb at the end. He used the Univox Echo unit, whatever it's called, for that. And this one just kind of, I don't know, it's different than this one. This one does it better. And like I said, this one's been on here forever. I used it in the loop. I can't get rid of it. It's just really solid. Distortion Plus, we have here, knobs all the way up. And as you can see, I put on here Whammy Supreme. The only thing I use this for is when you do like super big dime bag dive bombs. And actually, I just put this on here not too long ago. You just hit that on and then hit the dive bomb, and you'll never miss it. It's just, it goes whoosh, and just there's so much distortion. You can just hit any harmonics and it'll just, scream, and it'll go forever. So it just helps. I don't use it for like actual distortion at all, because it just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of sounds crappy for that. You need like EQ and whatever, which I have right now, but it's not, in my opinion, very good as a distortion, but whatever. And then we have the EQ, which I don't have it on right now, obviously, because it would be blinding with the blue lights, but been using this for boost. Actually, I just put it on here yesterday. I was just monkeying around with it. I usually have the Super Overdrive, but I was just monkeying around with this because sometimes this gets to be too much, and it just does, the mid hump thing and everything like that. And I have this set for mid hump too, but this cuts a lot of low end, and it just, I don't know. So I don't need that much. So I have this, and the other thing about this too is when the super overdrive, when I switch to the clean channel, this makes the clean channel a lot dirtier than this. So like with this, you could still have cleans and boost the dirty channel on the EVH, with the green and blue. But yeah, this really, I was digging this last night. I was playing, just monkeying around, and it was pretty cool. So, all right, then we go. That's in the front. That's all in the front of the amp. Those 5, and then we go to the effects loop. We come out of the effects loop, and we go to the micro amp, which really, it's always on in the loop, and all it is just a little bit of level boost. Because when you kick in the effects loop, sometimes, well, not sometimes, all the time, there's a little bit, for me anyway, there's a little bit of a volume drop, and I think that has to do with, these two right here, just kind of sucking a little bit of, just a touch of high end and mostly volume. But yeah, that's just kind of, I don't know, I guess you'd call it a buffer. Just, brings up the level a little bit and evens it out, and so there's not a drop. Then we have the harmonist. I don't know, this one's usually always on too. I barely kind of have it on there. You can see the little kind of dark dot. That's about as high as it ever goes. I have the shift here for the D. It's on the D tune, and the shift is set for plus and minus 10 cents. So this is actually, I've been trying. I used to use this, and actually all my videos except for the last 2, which were Rust in Peace and The Ultimate Sin, if you hear chorus on it, it's this, except for those 2, which is this. I don't know, this is just a little bit, it colors the tone and kind of it makes it a little bit darker. It's not as, this sounds more sort of open, and it has that sort of Van Halen kind of sound. I mean, it's, if you listen to Girl Gone Bad or OU812, like the whole album, the albums where he's using D-Tune, this actually really does a good job. I got this summer. That's pretty much it for that. And then for delays, I use this. This is also another one that I've been having a hard time trying to kick off. I got this. I was going to try to do some stereo stuff, and, because it's obviously stereo, and it's got the ping pong delay, but I don't know, stereo, it's a lot of money, and just, I don't know, it's just kind of too much. So I've kind of settled on this, I guess. I use this mostly on all the time, except for, like, tight sort of, Metallica stuff or Megadeth or whatever, and then it comes off. But yeah, it's usually set somewhere around there. The time is never the same. When I actually use this too for like Cathedral, set it like that, and that's Cathedral, and Big Sur Moon, Buckethead, somewhere like that. And it's good for that, it's a little bit warmer than this. This is a little bit kind of, it's a good pedal. I like this too, but it's a little bit sterile and a little bit sort of, it's got a little bit of a weird top end sometimes. But this one, actually, this stays out of the way a little bit better than this. So that's why usually the level on this is pretty far back. When I was using this, it's weird too, because you gotta turn it up to have it be the same as the other one. But then when you turn it all the way up, it's the delay note is louder than your guitar. So you know, whatever. This one's just easier to use for me, and it's, you know, just simple. So yeah, and then the caverns. This is another one. This is never set the same way. The reverb, just for a like a regular kind of not super cavernous reverb, is usually like that. Usually maybe a little bit higher than this. And actually for this, I use sorry about I use the shimmer, and I turn the rate all the way down so the shimmer's off, because I think the shimmer is the best sounding reverb in this. The modulation, the flanging on the modulation is a bit much sometimes. Actually, that one's the best, but it just, for like regular playing, like if you're not doing, you know, the sort of caverns thing, it's a little bit much. And the spring for me is a little bit too twangy and bright. So I don't know, maybe that's kind of unusual. I use the shimmer and turn this down. It's just a regular reverb. It kind of sounds like the modulated without the modulation, and it's a little bit warmer. And then this is just, you know, regular analog delay on the side there. And like I said, it's usually never set the same. It just, you know, it changes based on, sometimes I play super, you know, ambient stuff just for me, and then I set it like this, more normal for just, you know, regular songs and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the board. And also I made this, you know, just kind of Paul Gilbert style, I guess. It's got eye hooks over there on the sides for cables. Everything's velcroed. It's got the I don't know, ISO brick power supply. Sorry. Actually, under here too, I forgot to mention this right here, Line 6 G50, which I usually don't use at home, but yeah, it's got the little cable coming out, and usually I just unplug the regular cable, you know how it is. So, and it's got I put this on the back here too. It's got Velcro all over it. It's got the surge strip going out. So what I do is I just, you know, plug the ISO brick in there, and then just would run an extension cable, you know, just to make life easy, I guess, so I don't have like little wires going everywhere. So that's the board. Like I said, if you hear chorus on any of my other videos besides those two, it's one of these, probably the super chorus. Echoplex, I don't know if I've really used that a whole lot on the videos, but this is kind of a cool pedal too. It's just, I don't know, sometimes I like the modulation for me on the delays. I don't really like that. That's why I use the DD3, because it's sort of like this. It's sort of like the Echoplex, but there's no modulation, and I don't know, I like that better for me. EVH Phase 90, I've used that a couple times. It's kind of broken. I kind of fried it because I plugged it into 18 volts by accident and left it that way for 3 or 4 hours. So now you can hear like the clock in it as it goes around and around. It'll click when it gets to like the bottom of the sweep. So I mean, when you're playing, you don't really hear it, but it's just kind of weird. But this is good. I also have the regular orange script one with the LED, and I don't like that one as much because I don't know, I just don't like it as much. DD7 I already kind of talked about. Super Overdrive kind of talked about, and I have 2 of them for some reason. Yeah, that's pretty much it. By the way, it pedals, here we have the Marshall 4x12 with the American stuff on it. This is just the kind of crappy one. Whatever the $500 one is, I bought it just because I wanted a 412. And then I replaced all the speakers, which, yeah, I probably should have just saved some money and, you know, gotten a better cab, but whatever. I put G12, the T75s in it, the ones that everybody hates. And they're okay, you know, they're better than the, I don't even know what was in here when I bought them. G12P 60s or something like that. Or G12E, I think it was. Economy, who knows. Yeah, but the T75s are in here. They don't sound too bad. They're not, you know, not like super great or anything like that, but it works. And then over here, we have obviously the amp, which I think is on all the videos, except where you can see that it's the DSL, which is not in here because I made a box for the head, made it into a head, which that's upstairs. But and actually I've been using this. I bought a right here, a Creamback 75. This had actually a Lynchback in it, which is good, but you know, obviously you can't get them anymore, so I was like, I don't know, probably should, you know, use something that's available. So it sounds really good in the Lynchback, but I just, you know, that's what's in here. I actually, though, I like the Creamback 75 better. It just, I don't know, it's just better. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get 3 more of them, put them in here. But here's the amp, just a regular EVH 50 watt. Nothing crazy. Probably saw this. I use 9 gauge D'Addario for everything, even if I tune down to D. I don't know, people use heavier strings. I don't. Just, you know, it works for me, so that's just what I use. And picks, let's see if I got one here. Been using these. I usually use a Tortex of some kind. Usually the green ones, and I've used the blue ones for a long time, but I've been using the yellow ones, and they work right now for me. Just kind of go between, you know. I've been using the yellow ones for like, I don't know, 6 months, something like that. And also, one more thing before we get to the guitars. I got this in October, and it hasn't been on the channel yet, but there's going to be a cool Joe Satriani cover coming up at some point, if you know what I mean. These are, I guess, hard to find. I found one on Craigslist of all places. Some guy had one that actually his dad had, and he didn't know how to use it, so I got it for like $150. And one of these, I think it's this one, this button doesn't work, but it works, the unit works fine. And yeah, it does the Joe Satriani thing for Y. It's great. Yeah, so there's that. This also has a bunch of, it's got chorus in it, it's got detune, it's got, you can make it into a delay. It's got some weird, you know, different things in it that you can do. But I literally bought it just to do the Joe Satriani thing, because I've always wanted this, and I haven't been able to find one that was, you know, sort of affordable, I guess. I mean, $150 is kind of a lot, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I finally found one, and it works, and it's great. So that's coming up shortly. Alright, and then we'll get to the guitars. Also, I use this. This is just, like, I don't even know what this is called. It's an EV sort of PA speaker thing. And that I use usually when I do videos. I just turn this up, turn this up to like 3, 2 or 3, which is really pretty loud, through this, and then have this going next to it. Yeah, and it like rattles the windows and everything like that. So, but lately, well, the last 2 videos I just used this 1x12 with little tiny like computer speakers. Well, not computer speakers, but I don't know what you call them, like little, you know, stereo speakers. And I put this little crappy microphone that I got right up against the speaker in between the little tiny computer speaker things, and recorded that way. And it actually, I think it was better, because this kind of gets washed out a little bit, you know, when you have it up this loud. And this also got rid of most of the like actual physical guitar sound, you know, pick on the strings kind of thing. So I don't know, that's, most of my videos are these 2, but yeah. So anyway, guitars, let's see. This is the one, obviously, that I use most often, I guess. This is my first electric guitar, Epiphone Les Paul traditional, with the coil split on the volumes, or coil tap, whatever. You know, just a regular guitar, I guess. I still feel like this is the best sounding one. Yeah, not much to it really. I've used this for like just about everything. So there's that. I actually gotta replace the what's it called, the pickup switch. Here's the other one that everybody's seen. Wolfgang Special Black. I took out the tone knob, put in a kill switch. Not that hard to do really if you want to do it yourself. A little bit of tape there on the pickups, keep the strings from going under. Gorilla tape, which is probably not a good idea, because if I ever try to take that off, it's probably going to rip the paint off, but it is what it is. There's some marker stains. I was marking up some pedals one day. It's kind of a gross story, but I had a marker, obviously, and had it in my mouth, and I drooled down the marker, and it did that to my guitar. So I don't know, not really a cool story, but then it's got a little bit of foam there in the springs, just to keep it from you know, getting all jangly. So yeah, but this is pretty much, I don't know, I've done the most of this, I guess, which isn't a whole lot. Just that knob, or the button right there. There's that one. And then this one, I had a tan guitar before, which I used for domination. I didn't like it because the 14 here on the E fretted out. You'd bend it up like just a step and it would fret out. So I traded it for this. Just a regular, I guess, steam Cadillac. I did the solder thing, like Dimebag. I don't know, this sounds amazing. Foam again. And that's really about it. Alright, and the last thing I forgot to mention, Dimebag wah. I don't really use it too much, unless like a song needs it or something like that. And I did a stupid thing and super glued these in place. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. And that's it really. Thanks for watching. And there's going to be some other cool new videos that are long overdue coming up. So stay tuned. Thanks.